So last time Bai, Heng, and Fei heads into the jungle in search of Heian. They stumble upon a giant creature, a big creepy eye, and some regular old bloodthirsty bats who just want a sip of blood. Things get wild when they meet Chen Yu, the bad boy, and their fight starts. In the heat of battle, Bai accidentally makes a hole in Fei's ass. I mean in the barrier created by Chen Yu. Using this hole, Fei makes a run for it with Heian in tow. Meanwhile, sneaky Heng betrays Bai and tries to blow him up with a bomb. Luckily, Bai manages to escape with the help of said bomb. Talk about an explosive exit. Just when they think they're in the clear, Chen Yu comes back for round 2, and the chaos continues. It's like they can't catch a break. Fei demanding Bai to skedaddle and spill the beans about this mountain mess. With Fei's pep talk ringing in his ears, Bai jets off like a startled squirrel, muttering to himself, "Survive, survive, survive!" He zooms faster than a caffeinated cheetah, picturing the man's scary powers like something out of a bad kung fu movie. But then, disaster strikes. Bai takes a tumble, face planting into the dirt, urging himself to keep running. But all he can think about is poor Hu Yan and Fei in the clutches of the Lucian clan goons. Meanwhile, in the ring of chaos, Hu Yan and Fei are getting a workout from the Lucian clan's bully squad. Fei tries to defend herself, but the group leader casually tells one of his men to take her out. Hu Yan's pleads for mercy, while Fei's mentally preparing for the worst, until a surprise guest crashes the party. Lo and behold, it's Bai, stumbling back in like a bumbling hero, all dramatic and out of breath. "Couldn't let you guys have all the fun," he wheezes heroically, promising to be their trusty protector from now on. Fei tells Bai to run away once again, but Bai explains that he won't abandon them anymore and from now on will protect their lives. The attackers are surprised to see that the coward who was the first to run has returned, but determined that eliminating him won't be an issue. They are wrong, however, as Bai finally demonstrates his fighting abilities. Fei watches in amazement as she knows that Bai has always been very clearly afraid of dying and wonders how he found the courage to come back. She realizes that this must be Bai's true self just as he finishes taking care of the attackers. Then, Leader Chen Yu busts out his spooky ghost-killing move on Bai, thinking he's got this in the bag. But to his absolute amazement, Bai is still kicking, so he goes all out with attack after attack. The super-duper attacks barely even tickle Bai, and Fei's scratching her head wondering if this is that ancient undying power move thingy. Chen Yu's scratching his head in confusion because he knows Bai's only at level 5 of whatever weird condensation scale they're using, but he's still convinced he's way stronger than Bai. They start throwing punches at each other like two kids fighting over the last cookie, and Fei's eyes widen in amazement watching Ugly Bai actually taking a few hits before he dishes out some of his own to level the playing field. Bai finally lands a knockout blow, all the while shouting, "That's for messing with my pals, Fei and Hu Yan!" Defeated but not ready to throw in the towel, Chen Yu swears he'll do whatever it takes for the Lucian clan's master plan. Fei, realizing things are getting serious, pleads with him, "Come on, buddy, forget about them and skedaddle." But Bai, refusing to budge, declares he's going full main character mode. With a dramatic flourish, Bai conjures a purple, key-transformed cauldron out of nowhere, ready to take down the monster, and Fei realizes his level is above hers. Purple monster got clapped. Meanwhile, in the Lucian clan headquarters, the news spreads like wildfire. Chen Yu has kicked the bucket. Everyone's jaws hit the floor. They're like, "Hold up, this dude was just tangling with 3 kids." Chen Yu was supposed to be a big shot at level 8 key condensation. Now they're all sweating bullets, wondering if the spirit sector has sent some A-list warrior after them. Panic ensues among the clan, but their fearless leader Heng strides in, all calm and collected. He's like, "Don't worry, folks, young Master Heng S got this." Back in the forest of chaos, Bai is floored, literally, to find himself still among the living. He mutters something about promising Fei they'd make it back to the sector in one piece. Fei then has to remind him that he's got a sword sticking out of him, but assures him she'll yank it out and patch him up. She begins a dramatic countdown. 3, 2, 1. And Bai lets out a blood-curdling scream before she even lays a finger on the sword. Bai clarifies that he was just a bit on edge as Fei finally yanks out the sword like she's pulling a stubborn carrot. She wonders where the fearless Bai who charged in to rescue her has disappeared to, but then she sees Bai passed out, snoring away. Feeling a bit awkward in the intimate moment, Fei decides to drop him. not letting him enjoy his thighs for some good old sleep. And Huyen is amazed at how far Bai has come since he last saw him 6 months ago. Huyen's impressed, believing Bai might even be stronger than those hotshot chosen ones from the spiritual sector, emphasizing how incredibly rare it is for someone to master the undying skill. What's even crazier is Bai's only at level 5 on the key condensation scale, yet he's conjuring up cauldrons like he's a main protagonist of this anime. Bai remains modest about the whole situation and claims that he just made up that cauldron trick on the fly. Suddenly, Bai realizes it's quieter than a library on a Friday night and throws himself on Faye to touch some melons. He throws himself in front of Faye to take an arrow for her. Nearby, Heng struts up to inspect Chen Yu's lifeless body. He can feel the aura of the person who took down Chen Yu in doggy style, and it just makes him giddy with excitement, like a kid in a candy store. Meanwhile, our gang's trying to hightail it out of Dodge, with the Lucian clan hot on their heels. Bai calculates they're on a 3-day sprint to freedom, but of course, they can't catch a break. Every time they stop to catch their breath, another gang of baddies shows up for a rumble. Huyen, still recovering from his arrow acupuncture, can't stop gushing about Bai's heroic sacrifice, promising to repay the favor in his next reincarnation. But Bai, ever the optimist, refuses to let Huyen play the martyr. He says, "We've got elixirs for days." Yet, as time drags on, it's clear Huyen's not bouncing back like a champ, and he tells them to save the medicine for someone who's actually gonna live. In a rare moment of seriousness, he turns to Faye. "Let's face it, we're outnumbered, outgunned, and Bai's like a level 5 rookie in a world of level 100 bosses. Their odds of escaping the mountain seem slim, and they both realize the gravity of their situation. Bai then completes blocking the cave entrance and reassures his friends that they can now rest easy. But of course, trouble's never far behind. They can practically smell the stench of impending doom. Huyen, ever the expert on evil vibes, assures them that it can't be the clan's leader because he's likely glued to the center of the reverse spirit grade array, since it's nearly complete. Just when they're feeling a tad relieved, Faye drops a bombshell that she's heard of a Lucian clan dude named Heng who's hit the tippy top of level 9 key condensation. Before they can fully process this terrifying tidbit, a random clan member stumbles into their cozy hideout, blabbering about spotting them. Bai, not one for chit-chat, promptly yeets the poor soul out of existence. But the danger's far from over. Red clouds start swirling ominously outside, a sure sign that Heng's sending his evil minions. They know their chance of survival is extremely low. Bai's point out that we gotta dash. No way we're tangling with that dude, but his pals, battered and low on mojo, ain't budging. They point out Bai's the Usain Bolt of the trio, and if he makes a break for it to tell the spirit sector, they might just have a shot at survival. Bai's smelling a rat though. He sees through their sacrificial plan, but time's ticking, and the evil's closing in fast. But Faye, ever the drama queen, pulls out the big guns, and says that "I'll do it. I'll take my own life right here, right now, if you don't scoot." Bai's like, "Shut up, bitch, and suck my d." Bai, faced with the prospect of Faye doing something crazy, finally understands and jets off. He's sprinting like he's got a rocket strapped to his back, while his pals, resigned to their fate, prepare to hold off the baddies. They're all set to play distraction for Bai, but little do they know, our hero has other plans. He reaches the tippity top of a cliff and belts out, "Come and get me, Lucian clan! I'm here, I'm fabulous, and I'm ready to rumble." Faye and Huyen can only gape in disbelief as a horde of baddies comes charging at Bai like he's the last donut in the office break room. Turns out Bai's flipped the script on them. He's leading this evil parade away from his buddies so they can slip away like sneaky ninjas. Heng orders his whole crew to hunt Bai down, and then continue the manhunt for Fan and Huyen afterwards. Bai's got a master plan though. He figures if he can keep these baddies busy for about 16 hours, his pals might just have a shot at escaping. But things get hairy real quick. Some Lucian goons come at him with illusions, others with axes. Bai's like a one-man show, dodging and weaving like a ninja squirrel. Then, just when he's feeling like a superhero, some jerk starts shooting arrows at him from afar. The archer signals to his buds that they got him, so they ditch the Bai Be Gone mission and go hunting for Huyen and Faye. Realizing he's the only thing standing between his pals and certain doom, Bai does what any hero would do. He sacrifices his own body, again, and takes out Arrow Guy like a boss. So Heng, the big boss man with red sauce and eyes, gets a report that no sign of Bai, but they've found a bunch of bloody arrows. He's all excited about meeting this arrow-proof Bai soon. In the forest, Bai's playing a real-life game of stay awake or die, while leading the goons on a merry chase away from his pals. Then he eavesdrops on the Lucian clan yapping about finding blood trails leading towards his friend's hiding spot. Bai decides it's showtime and steps into the spotlight, becoming the clan's MVP target. Meanwhile, Faye's like, okay, we gotta haul our butts to the border before sunrise. They dash off, while Bai is still busy playing bait. But then, Bai hears that the Lucian clan has found his friends. No time to waste. Bai pulls a 180 and zooms to the rescue, arriving just in the nick of time like the hero he is. If he had been just a little late, they might have gone inside her. Just like I go inside my girl. No time for chit-chat though. Bai's all business, telling his pals to hit the road pronto. His friends bolt, leaving Bai to face off against some beefed-up Lucian goons. These guys are no joke. At level 6 key condensation, this guy got the whip. The last time I saw one when I was in my girlfriend's bedroom. But Bai's got moves. He showed all of them who's the daddy, and even broke the sword with his hands. He manages to knock them all out, yelling at the top of his lungs that he's still kicking and ready for anyone else who wants a piece of Bai. Just as he's feeling all heroic, Heng's pet beast swoops in and snatches Bai up like a tasty snack. Heng, the big boss man, strolls in, shaking his head at the effort it took to track down Bai. He's totally flabbergasted that Bai is only at level 5, yet he's knocked out tons of Lucian tough guys, even Chen Yu. Heng, scratching his head, asks him, "Who are you?" Then Bai, with confidence, goes, "I'm Master Bai." Heng's not phased at all. Then he starts squishing Bai like a stress ball. But Bai is not one to roll over and play dead. But Heng points out how Bai doesn't have a choice in the matter and attacks him. And that's it for this video. The previous part and next part link are in the pinned comments and in description. Also don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.